Everyone thought Dame Judi Dench never held bad feelings toward anyone. For many years, she was like Britain's favorite star that no one could touch. She was the lady who could make a Shakespeare play quiet with her acting and make the whole world like her just by raising one eyebrow. Fans said she was kind, nice, and always ready to forgive. But behind that fancy style, there was a secret she kept quiet until now. At 90, Dench has nothing more to show, no more acting jobs to go after, no more good names to keep safe. And getting older brought her a clear way of seeing things. For the first time, she started talking openly about the people who made her really lose her patience. Actors who ignored her, directors who made fun of how she worked, work friends who thought her being nice meant she was weak, names that people would never guess, names that even surprised her best fans. Because what most people didn't get was this: Judi Dench could handle tough pressure. She could deal with big egos. She could get through the hard parts of being on stage, but she never forgot when someone was rude to her. Some of these stories stayed as quiet talks for years. A super famous actor who made her feel bad during practice. A co-star who acted like she was new at acting. A director who said no to her ideas right in front of everyone working there. A well-known actor who made fun of her age in public. Even a star that everyone in the country loved who turned a small fight into a big rivalry that she never let go of. These were 6 times that changed who she picked to work with. 6 names she quietly stayed away from. 6 hurts she never let come back. And when you hear who they are and what happened, you won't see their acting together the same way ever again. Let's start with the one that even surprised people in British theater. Number 6, Kenneth Branagh. No one thought Kenneth B. Branagh would be on Judi Dench's secret list of people to avoid. To everyone watching, they were like Britain's perfect team, the teacher and the talented young one, the pair who made old Shakespeare plays popular again. But what people didn't see was the break that happened when Branagh was super famous, a hurt that Judi Dench never let heal all the way. In the early 1990s, Branagh really looked up to her. He watched how she acted, her style, her control, how brave she was with the words. She liked how much he wanted to succeed, his energy, his big dreams. Every time they worked together felt exciting, like 2 different ages of British theater came together. People who made the shows talked quietly about them working together for a long time. Then came the practice day that changed it all. They were getting ready for an important part in his new Shakespeare movie. Dench came in with her lines worked on a lot, changed and fixed from years of practice. Branagh, feeling great from becoming a star fast, said no to her ideas right there with everyone listening. He said she was thinking too much about the speed and told her to go with the fun and new ideas from young people. Everyone in the room stopped talking. Dench wasn't mad about the idea itself. She was mad about how rude it was. It wasn't a talk between them. It was him fixing her in front of people. And from someone she had helped, it hurt more than what any reviewer said. How they worked together changed right away. He wanted quick choices. She wanted exact ones. They fought in private messages, short words, and quiet moments when not filming. What surprised her most wasn't that he didn't agree, but how suddenly proud he got. He went from learning from her to thinking he was the boss in just 1 year. After the movie was done, Dench stayed nice, but not close. Chances to work together on stage just went away quietly. People asking questions noticed she didn't talk about him unless she had to, and when she did, her words were short, just about the work. No real friendliness. Everyone thought their teamwork ended on its own. It didn't. Judi Dench just said no to working where respect went away so fast. Number 5, Daniel Day-Lewis. No one thought Judi Dench would stay away from Daniel Day-Lewis. To people outside, they were 2 huge stars in British acting, each with their own way of doing it. One with exact control, the other by becoming the person completely. But when they worked together at last, liking each other's work turned into feeling tired, and they never fixed it. It started during practice for an old-time story movie that was supposed to bring together 2 of the best actors around. Dench got ready for the words like she always did. Clear, strong, and careful with the timing. Day-Lewis came in as his character, talking like him, walking like him, not stopping. She got why he did that way. She liked how much he put into it, but she also thought there should be limits, especially if one person's way started to bother everyone else. About halfway through filming, the problem came out. Dench came to the set one morning and said hi to the workers like normal. Day-Lewis, still being his character, didn't look at her, just walking by himself in a corner. When she went to him with an idea for their scene together, he talked not to Judi Dench, but to the made-up person she was playing. It wasn't fun or practice, it was like he didn't care, and it was with everyone watching. That time changed things. Dench had to say her lines over and over to an actor who wouldn't talk to her normal until filming started. She tried to get used to it, but it got harder. Scenes took more time. Talking was hard. Workers talked quietly about how cold it felt, how she stood with her arms crossed, waiting for him to stop being so intense, but it never happened. The worst part came during a hard-feeling scene. Dench wanted to talk about the speed and feelings before shooting. Day-Lewis said no, saying the real stuff only comes when filming for real. She stayed calm, but that was when she stopped being patient. For Dench, working together meant trusting each other. This wasn't that. It was being alone but calling it great acting. After the movie, she never said bad things about him to everyone. She said good things about his skill, his hard work, how amazing he was, but alone, she decided one thing quietly. She wouldn't go on a set run by someone else's extreme ways. With Daniel Day-Lewis, his great acting was clear, but it cost too much. Number 4, Maggie Smith. To everyone, Judi Dench and Maggie Smith were best friends who couldn't be split. Two stars that the country loved, two big names on British stage, often seen in pictures laughing like nothing could break their friendship. But in the theater world, there was one time everyone talked about, a time that made their long friendship cooler and left a small hurt. Judi Dench never really forgot it. It happened during practice for a big show in London's West End in the late 1980s. People making it thought it would be amazing. Dench and Smith together meant it would be perfect. How they acted together was always fun, smart, easy. But as practice went on, things changed. Smith, already busy with lots of work and too much attention from news, got less patient. Dench stayed calm, paying attention, wanting to make the scenes right with care. Their ways didn't match. The fight came out of nowhere. During a full run of an important scene for just the two of them, Dench stopped to ask about the feeling, speed, and the talk. It was a normal question, one she had asked many times in her job. But that day, Smith got mad fast. She looked at Dench with the whole group there and said, "If you want to direct the play, Judi, just say so." Everyone stopped. Dench didn't say anything, surprised not by the words but by saying it out loud to everyone. It was how she said it, like she didn't care, like thinking Dench being careful was just getting in the way, not After that, things felt different. Smith used funny words that hurt too much. Dench answered with calm coldness. They said lines perfect on stage, but off stage they stayed farther apart. People in the show talked about it. They said the two top ladies of British stage had finally fought. When the show was over, Dench was nice, said thanks to everyone, no sign of bad feelings. But away from stage, she chose quietly. She wouldn't look for jobs that put them together. Later, when asked about working with her, Dench was nice, even warm, but not like the love she used to show so much. Everyone saw them as great friends. She remembered when respect went away. Number 3, Steve Coogan. Steve Coogan wasn't a name anyone thought would be on Judi Dench's secret list. They were from different ages, different parts of British fun stuff, different ways of acting. But their short time working together left a big mark that Dench never forgot how he made her feel bad or how rude she thought he was without thinking twice. The problem started during first reads of the words for a big job that put Dench's serious acting with Coogan's funny side. People making it thought the difference would make something new. At first, Dench liked the new energy. She liked how good he was with timing, his smart ideas, how he could change a line quick. But what she never put up with was acting like she was less just to be funny. It happened in one of the first practices. Dench, looking deep into a scene's feelings, asked the director about a part of the character. Before the director answered, Coogan jumped in with a grin. "Judi, people watching aren't studying for a test. They won't mind if the line is just funny. Everyone laughed a little to be nice. Dench didn't laugh. She looked up slow, not mad at the joke, but at what it meant. To her, going deep wasn't extra. It was the real job. And Coogan mad. He'd sound like it was a problem. After that, things got more tense. Coogan changed things a lot, making up new stuff in scenes Dench had practiced exactly. He changed speeds, feelings, and ignored ideas with easy confidence like he was in charge. Dench stayed calm but got farther away. Workers talked quietly about how she sat holding her script tight, waiting for him to stop, waiting for quiet so real acting could happen. The worst came in a meeting to change things. Coogan joked about cutting short one of Dench's long talks, saying the movie needed less talking, more fun. He meant it as fun. She didn't take it that way. Dench closed her script, looked right at him, and didn't say a word. The quiet said enough. Everyone knew he went too far. After the job, Dench didn't talk about Coogan at all. When people asking questions brought him up, she gave short, normal answers. She didn't say bad or good. She just went on. And for Judi Dench, not talking was the strongest thing she could say. Number 2, Harvey Weinstein. Harvey Weinstein was someone Judi Dench never thought she'd deal with. But he became one of the few she quietly said she would never trust again. To people outside, how they worked looked okay. He helped with some of her movies, said good things about how hard she worked, and called her one of the best actors alive in movies. But behind it all was a time Dench never forgot. A time that showed who he really was and how much he wanted to control people around him. It started during time for awards in the early 2000s. Dench had just done one of her best acting jobs. Weinstein, known for pushing hard, wanted to control all her talks and appearances. Dench, who cared more about being free than winning awards, said no. Their talks got more tense. She wanted to pick when and where she went. He said he knew best. At first it was just pushing. Then it got like towel. King down to her. The bad part came in a private talk in his office. Dench asked about a plan that she thought didn't show her work right. Weinstein sat back, grinned, and said, "Judi, leave the thinking to us. You just show up." She stopped. The words weren't yelled, not big, but they sounded like he thought less of her, something she hardly ever heard in her whole job. It wasn't about the plans. It was about who had power. And he thought she would do what he said because others did. He was wrong. Dench ended the talk fast and left without yelling, but she changed how she acted forever. Away from others, she stopped him from having say, said no to some jobs. He tried to push. She set hard rules for any more work. People inside later said she was one of the only ones who didn't let Weinstein scare her. She dealt with him calm and exact, giving him only what work needed. Years later, when bad things about him came out, Dench said she was shocked to everyone, but alone, it was easier. She had seen in that one talk enough to know the bad things people talked about for years. She never worked close with him again. She never let him talk to her like that again. For Judi Dench, being rude was something she remembered forever. With Weinstein, it was something she could never forgive. Number 1, Richard Ayer. Not many would think Richard Ayer would be the top on Judi Dench's secret list. He was one of Britain's best directors, known for being smart, classy, and great at running the stage. Together, they made acting that people still talk about as some of the best in new British theatre. But behind the good work was a fight so strong it stopped them working together and left Dench with a quiet bad feeling she never hit again. The problem came during a fancy London show in the late 1990s, one that needed perfect work. Dench came ready, steady, and really feeling her character's heart. Ayer had a different way. His work meant he controlled every thing. Every stop, every move, every change in voice was planned before practice started. For lots of actors, that plan felt good. For Dench, it felt like she couldn't breathe. The worst came in a private practice. Dench said maybe change the speed of a big long talk, thinking a small change would make the scene better. Ayer said no right away. He didn't ask why. He didn't talk about it. He just said, "Just follow the plan, Judi." The way he said it was plain, like she didn't matter, final. She stopped. Not because he said no, but because he acted like she was a beginner, not the actor who had done some of Britain's best parts. From then, practice was like a quiet pull. Dench looked for real feelings in the parts. Iyer wanted the plan. She wanted small details. He wanted everything even. Their fights weren't loud, never yelling, but everyone felt the bad air. Workers later said how Dench would stand still after getting notes, holding her script to her chest like thinking how much of herself to give to something that didn't feel like working together anymore. When the show ended, reviewers liked it, but Dench decided. She stopped doing his projects. No bad words to everyone, no big fight, just not there. When asked years later about him, she gave short, careful answers. Nice, but no real kindness. Everyone saw a great team. She remembered when he made her feel like she didn't belong in her own acting. For Judi Dench, that was the one thing she never forgave. 6 names, 6 big fights that shaped the private life of a woman millions thought never got upset. Judi Dench made her job with pride, hard work, and quiet power that helped her through every stage and set. But even she felt big egos, rude pride, and times when respect went away. Behind the nice look was a memory that never got softer, a clear view that got better as she got older. Kenneth Branagh, the young one she taught, who stopped being humble. Daniel Day-Lewis, the actor who became his person and shut her out. Maggie Smith, the friend who got mad out loud and left a break. Steve Coogan, the funny guy who thought going deep was thinking too much. Harvey Weinstein, the movie maker who thought power was more than being good. Richard Iyer, the director who acted like her ideas got in the way. Each time left something. Some hurt, some let down, some changed who she worked with forever, but she remembered them all. Because for Judi Dench, being professional was easy. You come ready. You treat people nice. And if someone goes too far, you don't go back to that hurt. Everyone saw kindness, fun, a star with so much patience. But behind the scenes was different. She kept her high rules like protection. She guarded her acting strong. And if someone ignored that even one time, they hardly ever stayed friends. These 6 stories aren't about big drama. They're about what rude words cost in a job that needs you to keep going. And now that you know the names, it's up to you. Which of these 6 surprised you the most? And do you think Judi Dench was right to stop working with them?